Hi again. So last time I was speaking about how it is to work as a professional medium, and I will continue on that topic, so to speak. And I remember in the beginning when I started to travel with my work, I find it so exciting, going to all over the world, different countries. And in the end, I just realized I'm not seeing much of the world. I'm just seeing the workroom, more or less, that I'm working with, and maybe some local restaurant or something. And even if they offer for me to stay after, to have 3 days of vacation, to see the place or something, when I'm finished working, I just want to get home. And I know it's silly, really, and it would have been different if I was alone, but I have my husband I've had for almost 20 years, so if we would have gone together, it would have been different, and we might have stayed. But as it is now, and I will get to that later as well, it's that, like I say, I have my life and he has his life, and then we have our life together here. And that's because I don't like talking about my job when I'm not working, really. I just like to shut it off and don't really get into it. So I'm very happy that my hubby is not really interested in my work, because that means that we can look at other things and do other things, and I totally forget about it. So in the beginning, when everything was fascinating and I was traveling in the world and I saw a lot of people, and yeah, it's wonderful, I love the work, but it was also a huge pressure all the time. I used to say that you hear certain singers that they vomit or throw up before they go on stage because they're so nervous, and I used to say that at least they have a script. I don't have anything when I stand up there. And today, from making that a fear and an insecurity back in time, I quite actually like it today. I love the feeling, especially when I'm working at the Art of Findlay College, for example. And we have one morning when we do the meditation, and then we have an hour that we're gonna talk, just have a lecture for all the students. And I love going in blank. Don't have a clue what I'm gonna talk about until I start. And then get the inspiration from the audience, but also from the spirit world. And I love that, because that's a challenge to keep your focus on the spirit world, the topic you might starting off with, and then sometimes it sounds like you just rumble, makes no sense, and you think, what the hell did I speak about? And that's usually when I make the best talks, because I let go of my control. I don't have to know exactly what's going to happen. So it's a lot of learning during the way. And for example, when it comes to the mediumship and the evidence of it, I mean, you think sometimes that, well, you've done it for so long, so you should know it all. Oh no, you learn something every time you work. And for me, if I don't get a no, so I have something more to learn, I have actually failed a little bit that night or during that sitting, because that means that I am in my comfort zone and doesn't dare to stretch myself. And that happens. And I really beat myself up afterwards, because that's just the normal physical fear that creeps in, that you want to be 100% perfect, which is impossible. And I also learned that a lot of what you're saying, the recipient, depending on what kind of mood they are and where they are in their life, they can think you're brilliant even if you're not. Or they think that, no, that wasn't really any good. And then they realize that was really good, what she said there. So I learned not to be too judgmental and to take it one message by message, so to speak, and just trying to enjoy it. Because for me, working 24 years or 25 before I actually learned to enjoy it, that's quite cruel. It's cruel to yourself. And I mean, I will never go back that road, because if that's going to be the case, I could just as well take another job, go back to be an old silver and tinsmith as I was before or something, because that's creative and I need creativity in my life. Then when I started my development, I started with healing, which I mentioned before. And for me, that was everything I wanted to do. Then I started with the mediumship. I started to draw at the same time with the spirit art, and I sat for trance. And yes, I was very lucky. I had what I usually say, shitty ex-husband. But I was very lucky. And like I said, I think it was a purpose that I met him. And because that made me practice more or less the whole year around, because he was working professionally and I was with him every weekend, you know. I sat in the meditation every day, I sat in the power every day, and I sat more or less an hour for the first 10 years. I was very dedicated, and I realized also that sometimes I was striving too much. It's like I said to the spirit, well, give me everything that I need to learn so I get rid of it. I can come out on the other side. And then when things happen around you, you think, oh, for God's sake, back off. I had enough now, you know. So today I just say to the spirit when I sit in the power that help me be what I'm meant to be. And I take it as it is. I'm not trying to dig up things within me anymore. If something comes up, I'm dealing with it when it comes up. And I actually got really, really good advice once from a very good colleague and friend of mine, and some of you know her, Simone Key. And she actually said that, why are you complicating things so much, Mia? Why don't you make it as easy as you can? And that one really stuck with me. I have to really think about that one. And she was so correct, because I like to show my students sometimes what I expect from them. So if I should, for example, show them how I'm reading the aura and how I get into a person with the strengths and the weakness and things like that. Back in time, I would always choose the one I had most trouble to read, because otherwise I felt like I was cheating. So today I'm not doing that. If I want to show them how I'm working, I pick someone who has similar energies than me, and I make it very easy for me. And at the same time, I show the students how you can do a good job. So win-win both situation from my little fairness there. No, as I said, I make it as easy as I can, and I do that all the time. So traveling as a medium, you might think that's luxury as well. And believe you me, yeah, when you get established enough that you have the guts to put your demands on there, that you maybe don't want to sleep on a mattress that you blow up in a basement or something, yes, then you at least can have a little bit of a comfortability when you're traveling. But believe you me, it's not a luxury life, because I hate flying. I have anxiety every time. I hate when I go to a new place because I don't know the drill. The control freak within me, you know, will be there immediately and say that, come on, we don't know this area, this is insecurity, and the anxiety hits me. So there you go. I think I talked enough for this time. So see you soon again. Bye.